guys, so welcome back to part 3 of my tutorial. I actually made a mistake and I caught it before it was too late. So anyway, but we will move on with this tutorial. So now you should have your pocket page for your mat, and then you should have a file folder page, and I'll show you why this is attached already, which for you it should not be. So we're going to start attaching our papers now. I went ahead and attached the file folder piece, okay? And then you're going to need 2 pieces of paper that are decorated paper that are 7 3/8 by 8 7/8. I went ahead and taped mine and got it ready for a video sake just for time purposes. But basically what you're going to do is attach this piece first, okay, and I've already made sure that my stuff was attached real strong with my bone folder. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach my page. So I'm just going to center it best I can here. And then press my bone folder down in there. Okay, now for my mistake. This was actually supposed to be my cover page, and I end up having to make a new file folder page. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to attach this pocket piece first, okay? And then, but before you take this part down, you are going to attach your paper. Then you can remove the tape on this end and then lay it down and then, press it down with your bone folder and make sure it's on there secure. But we're going to go ahead and finish this page. So we've already made our little, I don't know if you want to got little pockets. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape from there. And this time I want to make sure which side it goes on, because the way I set mine up, I have my pockets on opposite sides for each page. Okay, so I'm going to look back at my last page, and I had it on the right hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the left. Okay, oops. But first, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and attach that real quick so I don't have to mess with it. Okay, then I'm actually going to do it just about 1/16 of an inch from the end of the paper, and then I'm going to carefully lay it down and then miter it in here is what I call it, with my bone folder, making sure it's all pressed down. Get in that pocket, press it down in there so that your paper does not lift. Okay, and then you're going to put down your decorated paper. I already have mine again taped and ready to go. This piece of paper should be 2 7/8 by 8 7/8 for your little pocket here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape, my score tape, and I'm actually going to reinforce it. I feel like I need more. Just want to make sure. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. Just centering it again. Okay. And miter that in. Okay, so now we have our pocket page ready to go. Then we're going to work on this page, and because I flubbered and like normally I would have had this a striped yellow, I would not have to I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, I like it actually now that I did it, but I don't want to have two pieces of yellow in here. So I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to cut out a new piece. Let's see what I want to use here. I really like this writing here. So I have some of that left over. And again, I said the measurements for this piece were, for the cover, let me see here. 6 inches by, I believe it was 2 7/8. Yes, it is. So I'm going to score the 2 7/8. And then the 6 inch. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Okay. Now I want this to line up, and so like I said, I made kind of like a in the beginning like an example so that I could follow from that. Oops. So I got my little mess going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line with my pencil. No biggie, because I'm going to be covering this up with ink anyway. But if you have any left over, obviously, that you can see the pencil. What I mean is you can just erase it like I have right here. So I'm going to erase that real quick. Just because I don't even want it showing through my ink, although it probably wouldn't. Throw that little extra piece away. Now, I'm not going to attach it yet, but I'm just getting it prepared. And the reason why I'm not going to attach it yet is because you're going to need a magnet. And you will not know where the magnet's going to sit exactly, because when you put your other pockets on, you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute here. Let me just throw away some of this trash. Get my edges inked. I'm going to go ahead and put my score tape on the back of it, just to get it ready, because I don't want to have to. And you're actually going to need 2 pieces. So 2 pieces the same size, because you will have 2 pockets. Okay. So you can go ahead and make 2 right now if you know which papers you want to use. And now, well, no, I can't even use this because it's upside down. What a bummer. Well, I can save it for my next one. Okay. Bummer. I'm like, oh. Okay, so I'm going to get my score tape on the back here. And I'm just going to miter it in. And, or burnish your edges, however you want to call it, with my bone folder. And then I'm going to put it to the side, just because I know I'm not ready to use it yet. And I'm putting a lot of score tape on the back of this one because you're going to have a magnet behind here, and you want to make sure that your paper is completely sealed. So I'm going to put that to the side for the moment, and I'm going to start working on my next page. Now, we know that our base page for the file folder was 7 7/8 by 8 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch shorter. So let me decide which paper I want to use, because see, I've only got like a few left. I know that I want to use this one for the cards, the ephemera cards. So I know I'm not going to use that. Let's see here. I don't know. I might do the chicken fence. Or I think I might have already done a red polka dot page. Let me double check on that, but I think I did. You can hear him dropping stuff over here. No, as a matter of fact, I didn't do a red polka dot page. Yay! So I can do that now. Okay. Now, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper that are exactly the same size as this. Let me go ahead and cut this off real quick. Just get my little edge off there. Make sure it's lined up right because I don't want it crooked. Okay. Now, if it was 7 7/8, okay, actually I can have it on this side. Let me just double check. Okay. So we know, I'm sorry, why does it, yeah, it is 7 7/8. The only reason is because you have your little 1/2 inch here. So at this point, we know that we're going to need it approximately 6 and let's just try. I'm sorry, it's easier for me to tell on this side. Yeah, 6 7/8. Okay. And by we said it was 8 7/8, so I'm going to do 8 3/4. So we said, oops, yep, 6 7/8. Sorry, I'm going to write it down because I will forget. I know I have short-term memory, okay? I apologize, guys. 8 3/4. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 of those, and then I'll be back. I'm going to ink them. I'm going to round my edges. Let me see if I rounded all my edges on this one. I'm pretty sure I did for both sides. I sure did. Okay, so on both those papers, you're going to round your edges, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have rounded my edges, distressed inked them, although this one looks like it needs a little bit more. I put on my score tape on the back, burnished my edges in, and now I'm going to lay it down, and I'm just going to center it here. And then I'm going to rub it in there, okay? Gonna make sure my paper is straight there. And then, so we have this ready, okay? Just burnish it in there really good. Okay, now, I am going to, excuse me, didn't mean to cough on y'all. Okay, now I'm going to get my little file folder, my miniature file folders ready to go. I have not taped them yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So I have one going this way and one going that way, and that's how I'm going to set it up on the page. I'm going to see on my last one which one I had first. So I'm going to do opposite. Yeah, this is opposite. Okay, so great. So I'm going to go ahead and put my score tape on here. Okay. And I already angled in my little edges here. So I just cut them angular or whatever you want to say. I can't talk right now. Okay. Then in a second, I'm going to cut off my excess that's hanging off the edges, because you can fold it back, but sometimes if they're too long, it's not a good idea because then you get bunched up tape. So before I do that, I'm going to burnish my edges here. Okay. And then I'm going to cut off the excess tape. So I'm not going to do it on screen because I don't want it to hit my table and get stuck, because that drives me crazy. Okay. So now I'm going to go up about I don't know yet. I'm going to look, but I think it's either 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the paper. Fold anything back that's hanging over on my edges here, because I don't want it. Okay. Alrighty. It's going to be about 1/4 of an inch. I can tell you that right now. Let me look at my other one just to make sure. Yeah. So I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm actually going to use these little dots as my guide, and I'm going to center it. Okay. Actually, this looks more like 1/2 an inch, but I'm going to double check in just a second for you. I'm going to burnish in my edges so I do not forget that. Okay. Okay. Let me do that measurement real quick to see what it is. Yep, it's basically 1/2 an inch, almost. Just a little bit, a hair under that. So it could be closer to 3/8 an inch. I'm going to go ahead and put my score tape. I'm going to use my 1/2 inch this time just for time's sake here. Burnishing my edges here. Put this back here. Keep it out of my way. Cut off my excess here. Sorry, the tape always sticks to my fingers. What is the deal? Okay. I am like Miss Static Cling or something. Okay. I burnished in my edges. I'm going to peel back onto my paper any hanging overs. Okay. Now this is kind of the tricky part. So, but this is how I did mine and it worked for me. I like to have it tuck in a little bit, okay? So I just, well, you just being a little sticky now. Be very careful doing this. If you don't feel comfortable tucking it in, you might want to use like, may want to go a little bit, oh boy, sorry, it's sticking real good. Okay. Okay, and then burnishing your edges. This one's a little bit higher than I wanted it to be, but it'll work. Okay, so I wanted it tucked in a little bit more, but it just kept sticking there. So for you, try to tuck it in there a little bit more. I'm going to burnish my edges in there really good. Lift up your other pocket when you're doing that so you don't accidentally tear your page. And yes, it's in there nicely. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get my magnet on. Okay, and Tamara does sell basic gray magnets. I am out of them, so I got some little neodymium magnets. They are not my favorite because they do not have tape already on there, and so it's kind of a pain in the booty sometimes. So I'm just going to put it approximately, you know, a little bit in there, and then I'm going to use my chalk if I can find it. There it is. Not wanting to come out, are you? Okay. Only when I'm trying to make videos does it get complicating. So I just rub a little bit of chalk on there. I flip my page over, and then I rub it with my bone folder. And then now I know where the magnet's going to be. So I take my piece of tape and see if I did that right. Yep. Sorry, I had to just make sure before I laid it on there real tight. Okay. Now, that other edge that I made for the decorated paper for my pocket, I now can put that on here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've already burnished my edges, inked them all and everything, and I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to move it down a little bit closer to me. And I'm just going to center it again. Okay. And rub it in there pretty good. Try not to rub too much on where the actual magnet is. You don't really have to worry about that with the magnets that Tamara has because they're a lot thinner. But on the neodymium, they are thicker. So you'll have to worry about that. Okay. Now I want to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to use to cover my pockets. And actually this size looks perfect. I believe that this is 6 inches. It is 6 inches in width. So I'm going to, let me just make sure I didn't use that on this one. No, I did not. Okay. So we know we want it six inches by, I would say 3 and 3 3/4 in length. So I'm going to get out my cutter and I'm going to try 3 3/4 first and see if I like that. Yes, I do. Okay, so 6 by 3 3/4. So now I'm going to go ahead and round my edges with my punch that is broken. I need to get a new one, but these are kind of expensive, so I'll just ponder on that. I'll just keep using it while it's broken. Okay. Okay, ink my edges. And then I'm going to go ahead and put them on the pockets. I'll be right back for the last page here. We already know what the measurements are for the outside page for the first sheet. And then you're going to do the same thing with the pocket, except that for this pocket, it's going to be opposite on this side with this going this way. So it's just basically flipped over. But I will be back in a moment.